जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So yesterday we were discussing the 3-point formula we have not yet come to. Just the introduction we were discussing. I just shared that PPT with you. Just a minute. Can you see this? No, just 1 minute. No, why it is showing like that? Okay. And now you can see the PPT now?
Yeah.
You can see the PPT?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, this is recognizing our subordinate to God. This is what we began with yesterday. We devoted some time. We will read this and we'll proceed ahead today. Yeah, please read it. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita 7.4.
Generally, one who does not know the science of God, Krishna, assumes that this material world is for the enjoyment of the living entities, and that the living entities are the Purushas, the causes, controllers, and enjoyers of the material energy.
So, we said about it yesterday that living entities actually think the material world is meant for our enjoyment. Eat, drink, and be merry. That is the map, blueprint most living entities have here. Therefore, they think they are the Purushas. And not only that, they are the cause of developing this world, they think. They think we have developed this world. And we are the controllers of this world. We are the enjoyers of this world. Look at this businessman. He wants to have a control over the whole globe by expanding his business or something. Similarly, people want to be in control of money, situations, and people. Basically, they want everything, all control in their hand. And this is very clearly seen in the modern times by, man's having remote control for everything. You have a remote for the TV, you have a remote for the fan, remote for the light, remote for the door, remote for the car. Basically, we want control in our fingertips. Basically, remote for everything. So in this way, man thinks that we are in control of the situations in the world. And so these are two opposite paradigms. One paradigm is, I am man, I am the center, the whole world revolves around me, and all living beings are meant for my enjoyment, they should be at my beck and call. This is one type of outlook to life, which many of the modern day textbooks are teaching that. And Shastras say that Lord is the center of the world, and everything revolves around him. And we are also his servants. And by becoming his servants, we stand to gain. We don't stand to lose. That's why we discussed that yesterday elaborately. Being his loving servant, he is worthy of our service. So this is actually the scriptural point of view. It's a diametrically opposite point of view. So when I heard this in the scriptures, I looked at the world around. Later on, I heard Prabhupada's lectures. It became more and more clear to me, this point. I'll show you now. In the slideshow, it will become clear now. You can see. Here you can see, one who doesn't want to serve God serves a dog. You know that in the park and all, they have written, keep, when the dog poops, you have to clean that place. It's a duty of the, person who's bringing the dog. So you can see that a person keeps a pet for, having pet as a servant, but actually then one serves the pet, you can see here. Yeah. So who is the servant? You can see. So one who doesn't become servant of God has to become servant of so many people in this world. See, there is a boy who is smoking. He's thinking that smoking will give me happiness. But you can see that, he is keeping smoking for the pleasure, but that very same thing becomes an enemy for him. So he becomes a slave of the habit. Similarly, one who drinks for the pleasure eventually becomes a pathetic slave of the liquor. Actually, all these people wanted liquor to be the servant or smoking to be the servant. This is the situation of this world. So you will see that people who try to control, they end up suffering themselves. So the more we try to take charge of this world, we can see that even everybody in this world, you will see, for example, people want to first of all get happiness, and that happiness they begin with themselves. And they expand their selfishness. Prabhupada uses the word expanding selfishness. What is expanding selfishness? One thinks, oh, I can't be happy alone, so I will, now I have a family, I have my society, I have my nation. Gandhi, for example, worked very hard for the entire nation. In India, everybody will admit that Gandhi actually, M.K. Gandhi, he was very man of sacrifice for the sake of the nation. But one of the men of the same nation shot him dead. You will see that. You will see that even after rendering such a service. In the same manner, when one renders, like for example, there are people who serve their family all their life. When a man becomes 60 or 70, he's asking his family members, I have rendered all the years of the service, are you satisfied? They say, what have we done? You couldn't even own a house. Okay, you gave us some food, clothing, it's all right. But you couldn't repay the loan for the house. Your son has to repay. And so a man becomes very shattered. Even after working hard, now I am like an ox who is not able to plow the field. So in this world, it's very difficult to satisfy people. Everybody has some expectation. And actually, a man puts up a family for the sake of happiness, but he becomes frustrated because the paradigm is a wrong paradigm. Anything we do for our own selfish enjoyment, it is like a hand taking the laddu and massaging the laddu to get energy. By massaging the laddu, we don't get energy. We have to put it in the belly. Then we get nourishment. Therefore, I gave the examples yesterday. All parts of the body, feed the belly, and the belly in turn gives nourishment to all parts of the body. Yeah, that's the mechanism. Like, we pour water in the root of the tree, and the tree nourishes all the, branches and leaves and flowers and fruits and twigs. You don't go and pour drops of water in each leaf. You don't do that. Similarly, all living beings, how can they get nourishment? Physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual. All nourishment is made possible by God. So, some siddhir haritoshanam, it is said. Haritoshanam means when one works for the pleasure of God, like great kings like Yudhishthira Maharaj, they are aligned with Krishna's will. Then in the 9.10 Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, I glance at the material nature and the material nature flourishes with greenery and fruits and flowers and cereals and spices and grains and medicinal herbs and everything, simply by the Lord's glance. So we need to get all the gifts of the material nature sanctioned by pleasing the Lord. Just like, for example, a son, father gives a pocket money to a son, and the son should please the father by not misusing that money. If he misuses the money by smoking, then the father may stop the pocket money. Or if the son rightly uses the money, and the father is pleased by son's behavior, then he may grant him more money. So that is the point. So pleasing the Lord is for our own good. Please read that. Yeah, you can read it. Yeah. Energies are, yeah.
Energies are always
yeah.
energies are always controlled by energetic. and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful as unintelligent men think. The
Yeah.
Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him.
Yes. So Lord is called energetic and we are called energy. He is Shaktiman and we are Shakti. Mhm. We are Shakti. And the topmost amongst all the Shaktis is Radharani or Lakshmi or Sita. Mhm. And she is like a mother and all living beings are like children, but both are counted as Shaktis. They are predominated. Lord is predominator. Mhm. Similarly, Lord is controller, we are controlled. Lord is enjoyed, we are enjoyed. So in this way, uh, below I have shown the picture of people who become restless in this world and try to control the situations. They get very frustrated. Hmm. Actually, the living beings and matter both are controlled by Ishwar or controller, Supreme Lord. So we call as Jeev, Jagat, and Jagadish. We call it. In Sanskrit, if you see three words are used. Jeev means all of us, living beings. Jagat is around us, the world around us. And Jagadish is above, the Supreme Lord. So Jagadish is watching from the top, the Supreme Lord. And Jagat is the world around us, and we are the Jiva, or the living being. So the Jiva and the world around Jagat both are controlled by Jagadish. Or we can say matter, spirit, and controller of both. This knowledge of all the three, that will make it very clear for us. So here I want to say something about the Sambandha which is very important knowledge. So in Gita, Lord Krishna says about what is the relationship between the Supreme Lord and Maya or the Jagat. If you see, generally, like for example, in the Bible, the understanding of the Satan is an enemy, and he induces you to commit sin. And one should not hear the words of Satan. And the same Satan in Bhagavad Gita we call as Maya. We call Maya means don't go to Maya, don't serve Maya, serve Krishna. And we say if you don't serve Krishna, you will serve Maya. We say. So what is the meaning of that? Like for example, somebody is not inclined to serve Krishna. They are going to be attracted to Hollywood, Bollywood actors and actresses. You will see that some other heroine they are attracted to. And somebody is not engaging senses in Krishna service, they are going to engage senses in Maya service. For example, we have tongue which does two activities, vibrate and to eat. So if I eat prasad, then I vibrate the tongue by chanting the holy name or glorifying the Lord, isn't it? Now, if I am not engaging in Krishna service like this, then I am likely to use the tongue for eating all horrible items like unnecessarily killing the animals for the taste buds, and also speaking things which are inappropriate. So, in this way, you can see that we have two choices: either engaging our senses in Krishna service or Maya service. So in the Maya in English is called a Satan. But one very important thing we should know: many religions they tend to think that the Satan is an enemy to God, and may even sometimes try to tempt Jesus. The Satan is making an effort to tempt even Jesus. So, like that kind of understanding they have. Actually, the Satan, according to the Vedic understanding, is also one of the energies of God. Only, it is also his energies. For example, the sun only makes the cloud. Correct, no? The sun evaporates the water from the ocean and makes the cloud. And the sun, the vision of the sun is blocked by the cloud. Like when I'm seeing from the earth, I want to see the sun, but our vision of the sun is blocked by the cloud. Similarly, Maya is also made by Krishna only. It's Krishna's energy only. And that Maya blocks our vision of Krishna. Now you may ask a question, why Krishna does that? Why should Krishna not let all living beings look at Krishna directly and let there be no Maya? Somebody may say. Actually, the Maya is created as a facility for the Jiva to do his own independently enacted activities by forgetting Krishna. Because the living being wants to forget Krishna so that he can independently do whatever things he wants. Because in the presence of Krishna, he is not able to do what he wants to do, so nonsense that he wants to do. So therefore, he wants to forget the Lord. For that, he has given a facility. So Maya is also created by the Lord. Just as, for example, the Prime Minister or President of a country, they have the jail and they also have the good colleges. Some boys, they get them educated in good universities and colleges. Well, the other citizens, they send them to jail where they are told to break stones or do some hard work. Now, somebody may say, why the president of a country, is educating a boy and empowering him, and then he's sending someone else to the jail? Actually, both are energies of the president only. Both. Both the universities and colleges that belong to president, and jail also belongs to president. Similarly, Krishna has two energies. One is, the spiritual energy. One is material energy. Some jivas are in spiritual world. Some jivas are in material world. So it's not that anytime Maya or Satan can surpass Krishna or tempt Krishna or defeat Krishna. That is never possible because it is his energy only. It belongs to him. Krishna says that, Daivehi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya, he says. This is my Maya, he says. Maya is also my energy. It's like a prime minister of a country saying, this jail belongs to me. I only made the jail for the rebellious citizens so that they can get reformed and come, like that. So that's the relationship between Krishna and Maya. Now, anybody can tell me the relationship between Maya and the Jiva? Anybody can tell me?
You just said Maya's there so that the Jiva forgets about Krishna so that they can
Yeah. When Jiva forgets about Krishna, then Maya captures him. Krishna bolya se ye jiva bhogavancha kare nikatastha maya tare japati adhare. That verse says that one Vaishnava Kavi has said this. Prabhupada quotes it. He says that as soon as the jiva wants to turn away from Krishna and do something independent, immediately he is put under the custody of Maya. Just like, say for example, the father is seeing that the son is not studying, all day he is playing. Even after the father repeatedly requested him, he is not listening to the father. Then the father decides that, okay, now I will put this son under the custody of a tuition teacher. And the tuition teacher has to take him to task and make sure that he will study. That's what the father does. Now the tuition teacher is sometimes very strong. Tuition teacher may, of course in India, the tuition teachers have a stick also in the hand. If the boy is very mischievous, they may beat also. In America, of course, nobody beats. You have many strict, stringent rules for handling a child. Of course, in India, the teachers are very loving and very empowering, at the same time very strict also. So it has been, of course, Prabhupada taught that you show your stick, but you don't beat. But the idea is, sometimes if the boy is very naughty and is not studying at all, then he calls the tuition. He doesn't know who is his tuition teacher that father has put. He calls her and says, go and get me a comics book. I want to enjoy, reading comics books. She says, hey, sit and study. Tomorrow your examination. And if you don't study, I'll punish you. He's asking, you're punishing me. I'm going to call my father. She says, your father only has appointed me to make you study. Because only then you have a good future. Otherwise, you just keep playing all day, you will never be able to study. There's time for playing, there's time for study. So, even in India, the parents put the children under the tuition centers. So the children can study well. Otherwise, at home, the parents can't chase after them. Similarly, Krishna has given us a tuition teacher. Who is our tuition teacher?
Maya.
Maya, Durga. And Durga has a Trishul. Anybody knows what is a Trishul?
3 modes of material nature.
That is also, and also Varun Prabhu, what is it?
Yeah, it's the three Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik, and Adhidevik. The miseries by your own self, then miseries when you interact with other people, caused by other people, interaction with other people, and the third is the natural disasters.
Correct, yeah, you're right. So in this way, these sufferings are there in the material world, and the living beings are suffering in this world. So why Durga Devi is giving these sufferings? Anybody can say? Why is she giving these sufferings? Many people say, why did God create this world with so much suffering? If you say God is a loving father, kind father, why should he not allow us to live peacefully? Why did he create a world full of sufferings? What did you say?
Because probably we can go back to Godhead by getting the sufferings. We realize that this material world is temporary and we are separated from Krishna.
Uh-huh. So our Ayush's point is that it will help you to remind yourself that you don't belong to this material world, you belong to spiritual world, so you can go. Okay, that's one understanding he has given us. Okay, Shrikant, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Also, I think maybe our karmic reactions like a feedback mechanism. If you are doing something wrong, then we will have to pay for that. So we realize that yes, we are doing something wrong.
Correct. Actually, if you throw a ball on the wall, the ball comes back to you. In the same manner, you will see for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And one is we are creating our own reactions. That's one point. Another point is, actually, Mayadevi is so created to do foolproofing. You know what is foolproofing? In a computer, if you put a USB stick like this, it goes. If you make a USB stick on the other way, you put it doesn't go in. That's called foolproofing. In one way only it will go. Similarly, if you do the right thing, Maya will not, punish you. If you do a wrong thing, she gives suffering to tell you that what you are doing is wrong. To remind you. For example, if there is a fire, I put my hand in the fire. I'm sitting here and putting my hand in the fire in the side, and when I'm talking to you, suddenly the hand will get consumed. Therefore, there is a burning mechanism kept in the fire. As soon as I touch, immediately I get a sensitivity, I withdraw my hand immediately. So that I will not allow my hand to get consumed. It's God's grace that He has arranged it like that. Similarly, go to the edge of a cliff, from the mountain, if you see, you will feel some phobia, some fear is there. Oh, I don't want to walk further. You go back immediately. Why that fear is kept? Because if you don't have that fear, you will walk ahead of the cliff just as you are walking over the cliff. And then you will walk ahead and you will fall and you will break your head or you will die. It's a very dangerous thing. So God has kept that fear in us so that when you go to the edge of a cliff, you feel some kind of uneasiness or fear, you feel that. So this is a inbuilt, like Srikant was telling, it's an inbuilt mechanism arranged by Krishna so that we don't hurt ourselves more and more. Like I showed you the cigarette smoker and the drunkard. These people actually suffer so that they will not drink more. They will not smoke more because that is not the right activity for the progress of the soul. So the pain mechanism is kept in order for the jivas to, stop going in that direction. It's not good for you. So that warning is given to us. And also if somebody doesn't listen to the warnings, pay heed to the warnings, then goes on and on, then they suffer more and more and they're given more opportunities for reformation. More lifetimes are given to them. Okay, you didn't make it in this life. Okay, take more lifetimes. More opportunities are given and gradually you are purified. And here's the question. What if we pray Satan or Maya that don't give us suffering? What would be the result? Yeah, that is what some people do. They go to Durga's temple and they pray to Durga that, oh Durga Mata, please don't give us suffering. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has given a nice example for this. There is one Maharaj in ISKCON, his name is Satyanandan Maharaj. He was small, when he was a small boy, he had one hobby of during the vacation time, he would be a paper boy. He would throw the paper in the people's home, newspapers. And he would go home to home and throw the newspapers like that. So one landlord one day stopped this boy and said, why do you throw my newspaper at the gate? I have a big compound wall and my house is in the middle and there's a lot of garden around. Why don't you come inside the compound wall and give the paper to me in my hand? I'm an old man. Why don't you come give it and go? And he agreed. Okay, I'll do that. Tomorrow onwards, I'll do that. But the boy said, I'm afraid of your bulldog. You kept a dog, I'm afraid when I come inside, it will chase after me. So the master said, don't worry. The dog is always chained under the tree. It will not come. So every day the boy would go, the dog would stand up, like that it will do, but it can't come near because it was chained. One day when he went, the dog was not chained. A chain was there in the neck, but it was not chained. So when he entered inside, the dog started running after this boy. When he went to give the paper and the boy started running, what will you do? Ask yourself, you're entering into a compound wall and, the dog is chasing after you. Will you run away Or will you beat the dog, or what you will do?
Call the master.
That's what he did. He understood that if I run away from the dog, dog chases after me. If I take a stick and beat the dog on the face, then he will bite me. So he loudly shouted. He said, "Oh, sir, your dog is chasing me." And the master gave a whistle and told the dog, "Hey, Tommy," he called. Immediately the dog went to the master, wagged the tail and sat down. In the same manner, Krishna says, Mama Maya Duratyaya. This Maya Devi is my Maya, he is saying. That is my Maya. So, which means if you have problem with Krishna's Maya, he says Krishna says, come to me. And if you pray to me, I will protect you from Maya, because Krishna is the designer of Maya. So that is the point. That's the most important point, because if you are not taking shelter of Krishna, we go to Maya. Yes, we can go. It's like, for example, the police is capturing you. Why? The police is capturing us because we have acted against the nation or the Prime Minister. So if you align with what the Prime Minister has, President or Prime Minister has ordered for the citizens in the state, you are aligned with that, then police has no business with you. Say you all are gentlemen, you are walking in the road now. The police is coming in the opposite side. Are you afraid? When a police comes, when a cops comes, are you afraid? There's no reason to be afraid, because you have to be afraid only if you are a criminal. See, if somebody has robbed a bank or somebody has killed somebody, then when the police comes, immediately he will take a U-turn and try to run away from there, to try to escape. But if somebody is aligned with the laws of the state, he has no fear. Similarly, those who are devotees of Krishna, they have no reason to fear Maya. In fact, they can take Maya and engage in Krishna service. They can engage all Maya's commodities also, they can use in Krishna service. So that is the relationship between Jiva and Maya. So that is the verse also, it says that Krishna Bulya Sayi Jiva Anadi Bahirmukha Atayeva Maya Deya Samsara Dukha. The meaning of the verse is, because the Jiva has turned his back to Krishna, he does not look at Krishna, and he doesn't align with Krishna. Therefore, Maya Devi in this world is giving them engagements as they are demanding. The Jivas want to do many things which will cause suffering to him. Maya Devi supplies, okay, take this and you suffer for some time, then you will learn a lesson. And then you learn good lessons and get rid of these bad activities, and then turn to Krishna, turn to God for your ultimate good. So the most amazing thing in this world is what? It appears to us that many things are here for our enjoyment, but we become slaves, like smartphone, for example. Is smartphone your servant, or we are servant of smartphone? If you see, many people actually struggle to give up the addiction to smartphone, morning to night. Similarly, you can see teenagers are playing video games. And even the day before exam, they are unable to give up the video games. They have become addicted to it. Just as one becomes addicted to smoking or drinking or woman or anything like that. So you can see that in this world, we tend to think that I will take these things for my enjoyment. I am master and these things are my servant. But we become slave of the servant. You can see that. That's because these are Maya's gifts. Maya's gifts are painful, pain producing. Yeah. So where is that? So you're able to see it now? Achha, I'm not able to share, I think. Yeah, just 1 minute. Everybody see now? Yeah, this you understood this. Read this quickly. While
exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy, the superior energy forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of this illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation.
Yeah. Why is Atma called as superior energy and the dead matter called as inferior energy? Can any of you say? here?
The Atma is part and parcel of Krishna, so it's superior, and material energy is just his energy. It's not actually.
Okay. Actually, okay. But actually, both are ultimately part of Krishna, coming from Krishna only, no? Both are coming from Krishna only.
Atma is made of Satchit and Ananda, Prabhu, whereas material elements are five.
Okay. So Pranit is saying that it's a Satchidananda, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Whereas the dead matter is not. Dead matter has no emotions, no thinking, no feeling. Okay. Yes, Abhinav?
We can manipulate material energy, like, and use it for our purposes.
Yeah, correct. That's true, yeah. Superior, why we are called superior energy? Because the Atma or the soul can manipulate matter, like we are making a computer, we can make a building, we can make a car or an aeroplane. So we can use the material commodities, elements to construct such things. That means matter is malleable in the hands of spirit. So spirit is superior. That's correct answer, yeah, that's true. And also spirit is conscious, matter is not conscious. Matter is dead. So in this way one can understand that matter and spirit are not same. That's the main reason. Now you all are understanding the point? Is it clear? So Prabhupada uses the word superior energy, inferior energy. He uses the words like that. So we are superior energy and the matter is inferior energy. But here I'm going to ask you a very challenging question and then leave it to you. For today we have to conclude. You know, okay, if my body is made up of inferior elements like gross body and subtle body, then how is it that I am conditioned in this body? I am trapped in this body. I can say no to my gross and subtle body, and I am the spirit. I can come out and go back to Godhead, no? Why? How is this body which is inferior to me, this gross and subtle covering, is able to capture me? Who can say that?
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah?
Because we have done some karma in our previous lifetimes. So we are get this body according to that karma.
Okay.
And
Okay, we have got
desire.
okay, we have got karma, that is all. Shashwat, what's your understanding? Yeah?
Hare
Shashwat.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Because we want to enjoy independently of the Lord. So Lord
Okay.
said, okay, go to the material world, try to enjoy independently. But
Okay.
with every pleasure, pain is attached, and we are just trapped in the cycle.
Okay. Which means, as Shashwat also said now, you know, the material energy is inferior. We are Atma, we are superior. But the Lord has ordered the material energy to put us in this body because we have desires to enjoy certain in certain ways. For fulfilling that, Lord has ordered the material energy to capture us. You understand? Now, just like, for example, police department is ultimately working under the government. When we act against the government's law, then the police department is empowered by the government to trap us. Like even if one is a millionaire also, somebody may be a millionaire or a billionaire, even they go on income tax raid to his house and they may put him on house arrest or put him behind the bars, no matter how big a man is. Like traffic policeman, you see, he keeps his hand like this, and you've seen that, and he controls traffic. Even a millionaire or billionaire has to stop his car when a traffic policeman tells him to stop. Although the traffic policeman may be a simple man, you know, he may be earning very little money, but even billionaires have to stop, not because, you know, he is bigger than them. He is not bigger than them. He is a simple traffic policeman. But they stop because he represents the government. That's the main point. Similarly, Mayadevi actually is empowered by the Lord to trap us. The Jada, the material body, although Jada, it is empowered by the Lord to trap us because we have certain desires with which have come. The material body is what? It is actually a machine awarded to help the Jiva fulfill his desires stored in his mind. Whatever desires I have, if I have 5 desires in my mind, I'll be given 5 bodies. And I fulfill those desires with the gross bodies. So therefore Krishna has put us in this body because of our independent desire. Now if we remove that independent desire and fill up our minds with pure Krishna conscious desire to serve only Krishna, then Krishna will say, come. Then you don't need material body anymore. You don't need gross body, subtle body, all these things. The pure soul can return back to Godhead. So I will continue tomorrow. I will stop with this for today. It's almost time now. We have exceeded the time. But is it easy for everybody to understand the subject?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Actually, this is the most important part of Prabhupada's books, which is called the Sambandha Jnana, we call it. Sambandha between Krishna and Maya, Maya and Jiva and Krishna. So tomorrow we will start with the same point where we left today. Okay?
What next week?
Sorry, next week only. The same day, next week, like we have been doing. Actually, next week is what is the date?
27th.
Oh,
27th of this.
I think 27th also should be possible. Let me just check my calendar. Oh, sorry. Where is that other one? Okay. 27th. 27th, there is a camp going on, but I can keep this timing, 5:45. I can come. Yeah. Is it all right for all of you? 27th, 28th, we can have it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We can have it as usual, 27, 28?
Yes.
Yeah. And we will have 2 days. And I'm leaving India only on 1st January. Did you all get the calendar of the whole self-manager course till April? I have made it. Did you get it?
No, Prabhuji.
No,
Didn't
Prabhuji.
get it? Oh, really? I'll put it just now in chat. I'll put it. You can take it. Just 1 minute. This one. This is the one. Actually, I have made for the whole period till April. I have made. In fact, I made the calendar also. I got it here. I'm just going to put it in chat now, and then we will conclude. No, now you're getting it now. You can copy it and keep with you. Now it has come there. This has got calendar till April. So when I'm in US now, I'll be giving in the morning time 7:15 to 7:45, the same 2 days. When I'm in India, I'm giving at a different time. So yeah. Actually, one devotee says Krishna will never grant us what we desire in the material world if it is actually detrimental for us, which makes me wonder why Krishna decided to send us from the spiritual world to the material world to fulfill bad desires. Okay, we will start with this question next time. It's a good question. One devotee has asked, if desires are bad for me, why Krishna is sending? Very simple. He never chokes our free will. He's a loving father. Sometimes father allows the son to commit mistakes and learn. But we will discuss more about it. It's a very important question, good question. I'll bring it up next class. You can remind me again in the beginning of the next class. Actually, these are the questions we should ask, such sincere questions, so that we are very clear about our relationship with Krishna. Now, today we discussed the relationship with Maya and Maya's connection with Krishna. Like that, we'll discuss about Jiva and Krishna also next time. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, thanks a lot.
And thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.